Okay, let's plug back in. So what it should now be doing is, obviously all the stone will be chucked out. Hopefully. Yep, all the stone's chucked out into the refineries. It'll all be ground down into gravel, which is then going to be chucked into the centrifuge. Ah, the stone crusher's doing the majority of it. Of course it is. And then the centrifuge is going to turn all the gravel into other stuff, and then the other stuff is going to be chucked back into wherever it needs to be. Okay, so this drilling ship does work. It's just not very good. So lessons have been learned this evening. The amount of thrusters we've got on here is not enough. That's the main lesson I've learned from tonight. Is we need more thrust. But normally to accommodate more thrust you need more power. So our power issue is becoming obvious again. But you never know. Here we might actually be getting some more uranium. Actually, yeah, we're getting a fair amount. It's not exactly an even mix, but it's not terrible. How many reactors have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have still got the 6. That's alright then. Production wise, we're not producing anything anymore. Don't need to do that. We do need to disassemble all of that though, because we don't need that. And to be honest, the uranium will be much better spent elsewhere. Is there any other ammo that we've got? Just there, okay. Ammo. What does the NATO ammo require? Where is it, first of all? Does it come under tools? No. Components. There it is. Magnesium, nickel and iron. Okay, we can afford to keep that for now. What about the rifles? They must be peanuts anyway, but even so. Yeah, the tiniest amount of nickel and iron. But yeah, we've disassembled all of these missiles that we don't need. Let's chuck this stuff back in. It'd be cool if I chose to disassemble something, like if I just wanted all the motors on the ship to be disassembled, I could just do that and it would drag them in and start disassembling them. But I don't think we have that. So it's a case if you have to literally drag them in like this. Disassemble all of that stuff as well. Takes a long time with the ammo stuff. How have I been streaming? 2.5 hours. Oh my goodness. No wonder my backside's going numb. I'm sure there's an image no one needed. Okay, so finally I can start to think about getting the main drilling vehicle up and running, whatever it be called. I've no idea, probably big drillers, something like that. Let's see. What can we produce? So I need large blocks, obviously. Assembling. That's always a good place to start. So how much iron do I have available? 7,000 iron. See, I think I need quite a lot still for this. If I make the main shell out of light armor, it'll be a lot cheaper. Like that, see, already too much. So I still need to go out and do some mining. That's one thing I've learnt. So this ship is going to have to be useful. It's going to have to start paying for itself, really. Otherwise it's just been a massive waste of resources. So let's see. If I stick with my rule of only drilling horizontally, that means really I need a seat on this. Otherwise I'm going to be out of range of it. If it only goes... What was the range I set? 5,000 was it? On the antenna. 5,000 meters. And that was as far as it could go. So how far is that lake? If I go over to the lake... There's a really nice cliff face here that I can drill into. Which I believe I've showed you before. Here. How far is that? Okay, less than 1,000. That's good then. So I can do that. And then this ship should start paying for itself. The key thing is to keep it upright at all times. So I'm going to fly over here. Brake. Oh, that was dumb as well. God damn it. I suddenly realised how fast I was going. Right, inertia dampeners were on though. That's a bit strange. Maybe just, you know, terminal velocity takes quite a bit of effort to slow down from terminal velocity. Trust me, there'll be a drinking game soon, as every time I die, take a shot, because I die so often in this game. From that, flying into things. That is literally the only way I die on this game. I never get shot, I never fall off from a great height or anything like that. It's always flying into something. Okay, here we go. So, I need remote. Driller's remote control. There she is. Control. Connectors disabled. Ship is ready to go. I've got a fuel time of 2 hours. And if you look at the mass of the ship, it's currently 250 kilograms. We're about to seriously increase that. Okay, remember to keep her upright at all times. And also small movements. Small movements. No sudden movements. So there's the mine, there's the rock face that I want to drill into. Okay, keep the speed down now because we're approaching the face. I'd say keep it around 10 meters a second, maybe 15 for this little bit. I'm going to activate the sensor again so that it starts doing its job. So if I get a little bit closer, is it going to switch on? Apparently not. What's wrong with the sensor? There we go. Okay, now watch the mass start to increase. We're picking up a fair bit of stone now. And yet the mass hasn't gone up. Weird. It should have gone up. Oh, that mass. The one on the right's going up. Considerably. Okay. Let's shift back. And we can still move, which is good news. We did get a little bit twisted in amongst all that. Bring her home. Not too fast. I really don't like the sensor. I'm going to grind down the sensor, I think. It doesn't do anything useful. It just doesn't work. Okay, number 2. Spin around, get her ready for docking. Slowly move her back. I say slowly and then I get very impatient and start moving way too fast. Easy. Easy. And connect. Now this will all start filling up again. I hope. Seems to be. Stone Crusher is the Hi Proskill and hi FM Noob. Welcome to the stream. Just proving that my mining ship is a terrible idea. I mean, it's not terrible, it works. It just doesn't work very well. I think actually, as well as doing all of this, I could also get on with this. Get this set up again. So let's grind this down, shall we? Grind the drills down first. Be the smart thing to do. Like so. Come up here. Pop it all in the crate. Like that. Grind down the rest. The next FM stream will be next Friday. You missed the last one, FM Noob. Streamed for 4.5, 5 hours. I think it was. Must be 4.5 hours on Friday. Good stream. Did some good stuff. Didn't actually lose for a change, which is always nice. I didn't drop anything there, did I? He is hoping I didn't. Same again, just chuck all this away. I'm going to keep them... No, I can't actually, can I? That does not work. and then grind this beastie down. Okay, so the next rig is going to be set up. Actually, I have an idea for the next rig, and I shouldn't really have grinded down that piston. Is it grinded or ground? I never know. Right, that goes there, and then drill goes there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a piston on. Like that. Weld her up. Friday at 7:30 I started streaming, and I was on for 4.5 hours. I tweeted it several times that I was streaming, which also appears up on Facebook. So if you're not following me on those, then I suggest you start following me on those, because I always tweet when I'm about to start streaming, and everything I tweet automatically gets put on Facebook, so it's always on there. As I say, I was on there for a very long time as well. Here's the plan now. 2 pistons. Right, construction component, motor, and something else. I didn't see what this something else was. I'm going to guess computer, or I'm going to grab everything. PM. Yeah, I do know that, pros kill. Is it pros kill or pros kill? It's probably pros kill, but I'll let you tell me. Yeah, I know some of the keyboard shortcuts. I always forget them. So I sort of get stuck in the moment. Things aren't working when they should be and all of that, and I get quite flustered, and yeah, my brain stops working. No excuse really, but there it is anyway. Right, number 6. It certainly wasn't AM on Friday, because I was busy for most of Friday. My Twitter name is the same as my Twitch name and my YouTube name, M4J3FF135. The second, pros kill. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. I need someone with expert advice on here. Yeah, all my social media is the same as my YouTube channel. Funny enough, Jeffries wasn't a commonly demanded name, so when it came for me choosing it, I could pretty much have it on anything I wanted it on. Right, more steel plates. I might need more motors as well, which means I'm going to have to produce more motors. Assembling. Let's see, shift. Let's just grab all them for now. It's one of these weird things. I'll show you it in a second, but I have a drilling ship that is so unstable, and I don't really know, because it's a drone ship, so it doesn't need to be big, and I've tried to keep it as small as possible, but it ends up being really ugly looking because it's got thrusters sticking out of every orifice basically. Construction component, large steel tube, computers, and the steel plates, of course. You can sort of catch glimpses of it as I'm flying around. I've already forgotten what it was I needed. Steel plates was... no, not alloy. Steel plate. Where's steel plates? There. It's always good to have some of them hanging around. Construction components. Yep, thought I might have to make some of them too. They've changed the symbols. That's the thing. I mean, I like the fact they changed the symbols. They look very nice, but they're not what I'm used to seeing. Steam name if you like me and have Steam is FM Idiot. You can add me on Steam. Again, it's M4J3FF0135. I can't guarantee I'll accept every request I get, but I'll try to, because it's, you know, it's nice to get to know people. I like to be as interactive as possible. But yeah, I'll show you my my drilling ship now, actually, whilst I'm waiting for this stuff to be made. So it looks a bit like this. It's got drill on the front. It's got 4 ion thrusters pointing downwards, plus 4 atmospheric thrusters pointing downwards to provide the main lift. And then we've got 2 thrusters pointing forwards at the top here, and 2 pointing backwards at the back, obviously. And then we've got 4 ion thrusters on the top pointing upwards. And if I come underneath, I've got 1 here pointing to the left, 1 pointing to the right, and then 3 ion thrusters on each side as well. Thing is, as soon as I switch the drill on, the whole ship starts shaking and gets thrown out of alignment. And I don't know. I know that it's unstable because it doesn't have enough thrusters. Because I think gyroscopes, I'm okay. I've got 1 gyro in the middle here. I've got room for 2 more if necessary, but I think 1's alright for a ship that size, isn't it? I chose ion thrusters because they're smaller than atmospheric thrusters. That's the only reason. I needed something that was small and easy to use. I wanted to use the azimuth thrusters, but they're too expensive. Oh, large steel tube, that was the other thing I needed. So with the azimuth thrusters, I needed superchargers. That's the one. And superchargers use gold and all that stuff. I know ion thrusters aren't made for an atmosphere, and I know atmospheric thrusters are better. I might redesign the entire ship off camera, because I can't fit the number of atmospheric thrusters that I need, which is really annoying. It's kind of what I'm using this for. So I've got this rig set up where stone is turned into gravel. Gravel is then put into a centrifuge, which turns it into loads of other different things, and then that is taken and processed back into its ingots. Right, let's get these pistons going. Let's see, piston. Oh, I don't know what the other one's called. What's this one called? This is piston 2, so I'm going to change this one to piston top. And I'm going to change this one to piston bottom. This one, piston bottom. Okay, and then that one and that one are both going to be called pistons. Just nice and easy. Okay, and then this speed is going to be minus 0.01. Okay, FM noob. I'll get around to that once I finish streaming. Alright, I'll start replacing it with atmospheric thrusters then. It was a good idea at the time. Right, drill. No, sorry, drills. Get rid of that group. Drills. On. Piston. Reverse. Now don't blow up. Don't fall apart. Behave yourself. That is very shaky. I usually build a 7x7 square of small drills with a cage on the top that has the thrusters, so it only needs a lot of thrust up and a little to move around. Well, I would quite like to dig tunnels with it. That's why I've got trying to fit everything within the space of a drill that a drill would actually make. That's why it is like it is. So what you're saying is all of these thrusters need to be atmospheric. I can do that whilst it's attached here because there's no danger there. I'd like it to be a relatively simple design, which I know is saying a lot in this game. There's the problem, look, I can't attach these thrusters anywhere on this ship unless I stick them on top here. One there, and then flip up and over. Come on. Spin that around. One there. But then where do I put the front ones? I just don't know. At least that's not exploding. That's good news. Right, metal grid. So yeah, what do you suggest, Pros Kill? It's hard to build small in this game. Building larger is way more easy. Well, then I need more power. That's the... See, I know enough about science to know... Well, I should know a lot about science. I studied engineering for the majority of my life. I know enough about science to know that... actually, to save weight, you need to lose weight. Sorry, to save fuel, you need to lose fuel. So, what I'm trying to do is create a really small drone that's really simple to fly. That's in the wrong place. Small drone that's easy to fly around and can do a really good job without being too big. That's the goal. I know it's possible because I've done it before. The difference between the one that I did before and this one is I'm now on a planet's surface, so there's gravity involved. Which is fine, I accept that, and that's, you know, gravity is the pain. That's not the problem. The problem is trying to make something that's small enough so that it doesn't collapse under its own weight. That's where I'm struggling. But I mean, putting these atmospheric thrusters on is fine. That's a good way to save weight. It's just, where do you put them? So let's see, I can grind these down now. Stop killing me. Damn things. I've got tons of batteries on here as well. They're all trying to do a job for me. So let's see, I can't put them there. So I have to put them like this. Well, the thing about physics is, I learned this from Kerbal, playing Kerbal Space Program. There's such thing as delta V. Delta V is basically how much fuel you burn in any given time to get between places. That's what I see it as. I think it's got a completely different definition entirely, but that's what I see it as. So you have to... Oh yeah, don't forget Star Driver. No links allowed in the chat, unfortunately. FM Noob, are you asking if I'd like to play online Football Manager? Because that's not really something I'm looking to be getting into right now. It's something I'd like to get into, but I'm so invested at the moment on my own save file, and plus I'm at uni a lot, which is a problem. Anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, gravity. I'm assuming gravity on this planet is the same as it is on Earth, which is 9.81 meters per second squared. That's the acceleration due to gravity. So as soon as I start, like at this moment in time, it's fine. There's no problem. But as soon as I start drilling, the ship's going to fill up with stone. Its weight is going to double, quadruple, you know, even sextuple. Then it's going to struggle. But that's not how this works, ProSkill. Because at the moment I haven't got any uranium. My base power is mostly solar power. All the uranium that I've got is actually in this ship and a grinding welding ship that I've got, which has the same problem. There's not enough thrusters. So it's just not functioning properly. That's the issue. I could cheat and just go into creative mode and build a big drilling ship and start drilling that way, but I don't really want to do that because there's no fun involved in that. So I'm a bit stuck. The stability on this ship is awful. None. Doesn't mean it's not possible. Earth doesn't need flying drilling ships. That's the thing. But we've got flying ships. You see them all the time. They're called aeroplanes. They follow the same principle. They need an... You must know the thing about aeroplanes. They actually... The landing gear cannot support the landing of a plane at its takeoff weight. That's why when planes have to make emergency landings, they fly around for a bit whilst they dump fuel. Because if they tried to land using their takeoff weight, the landing gear would collapse under its own weight. It's kind of the same principle here. This ship needs to be able to support itself, first and foremost, which I can just about do. But once it starts drilling, its mass increases exponentially. So I need it to be able to support the weight of itself and everything in its cargo containers, whilst remaining stable with the drill in motion. The plan, in fact you can see at the bottom, step 3 of the to-do list, is to frame for a big drilling vehicle. I've got a plan for this massive drilling vehicle on wheels that will have a drill rig built into the centre of it, which will work exactly like this rig is here. So you'll have pistons that push the drills into the ground, drilling. That really doesn't look stable. And then huge cargo containers to store all the stone in. I mean, I agree that looks a lot better. It's just, can it support its own weight? Who knows? If you mine one inventory full of uranium by hand and process that, you have a lot of uranium already. Yeah, but I haven't got any uranium nearby. That's another problem. Also, I can't remember how this ship functions. Ugh. Also, what's this thing? Alright, that's the ore detector. That's the battery. Okay. So let's hop in here quickly. So I need to make sure all of this is mine. Share with my faction. How much battery power have we got? Stored power 3 megawatts. Okay, do I see all the ores now? Yes, we've got iron. We've got silicon directly below us. There's iron and nickel over in that direction, but there's no uranium near here. See, what's the radius of this? Can I increase the radius of the ore detector? Nope, that's its maximum. I could do with putting a solar panel on this then. Really? Can use gravity to get the drills into the ground. Yeah, this game's time consuming. There's a lot of literally grinding in most cases. It can be quite slow going. How much hydrogen do I have left? Oh, loads. I'm good with hydrogen. So this game did actually come with this easy start did come with a drilling ship, but even that one was really, really poorly made. Wasn't really suited to an atmosphere. Well, actually, it was suited to an atmosphere. It wasn't suited to gravity, because that one flipped over, and I couldn't flip it back. That was what happened with that one. So this, what I've just noticed, is I've made one thruster point into another. Now that's probably not going to work out very well. So I should probably grind these down again. And move these. Well, once the vehicle's working, it will use its own power to move the drills. I think using gravity on here to do it would be a massive risk. I build a wheeled vehicle the shape of a Y with the drill hanging from pistons in the top V-bit. Put an ore detector on your drill ship. Yeah, I will have to do that. That's another thing I didn't remember to do. I wanted to start on the planet's surface. I've never started on the planet's surface before. So I chose the easy start because I knew it would give me some resources as well. And as you can see, I need every resource I can get my hands on. Because this game is so grindy now. And I like a challenge. Anyone who watches my videos knows I like a challenge. But this game is something else when it comes to challenges. If you go way back when on my YouTube channel, it must have been 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now, I did do a start in space. Obviously planets didn't exist back then, so I couldn't have done planets, but me and a crew of people that joined me via Twitch, we did quite a lot of good building. Big mining ships that made the frame rate absolutely tank whenever they were docking. And they just kept getting bigger. Because we ended up with so many resources, it was ridiculous. I miss those days. 2 hour day, 2 hour night. If that's what you're asking. Right, do you think this is going to be stable enough? I'm not convinced. Because the other thing is, when it flips over, it's impossible to flip back. Literally impossible. Well, you have the M4J mining company, and I run asteroid mining and modification. Been designing and using mining equipment since the game came out. I had a little ship once upon a time called Drillus. That was really cool. This is mini Drillus, as you can see. Now Drillus was an awesome ship, even though it never quite worked out how it was meant to. It was originally a wheeled vehicle because we had this platform, and we wanted to do some resource mining on this platform so that we could extend the platform into an asteroid. So I built Drillus, which was a wheeled vehicle with a drill on the front, and it would roll along the platform and drill out in front of it. And then someone would go along and put down a platform underneath, and it would carry on doing that. The only thing I would have automated on that extra would be actually have it placed down the parts itself. So it would, you know, drill out a section, put the block down, drill out a bit more. But obviously that's not possible in the game, which is a shame. Alright, so this is all atmospheric thrusters now. And I have to admit, I'm not very confident that it will work. Not one flying drill ship. How many hours have I played the game? Oh, Jesus. If you go on my Steam account, you'll be able to see. Steam account's the same as my Twitch account. Okay, ore detector. Azimuth ore detector. It's worth a crack. Depends if I can fit it on here, of course. there's room for it. Here's an interesting question. Where do I put it? Because I'd like it quite central. I can put it there, I suppose. I hope that doesn't block out all of my... Right, detector components. How many? 40. And then loads of steel plates. Alright, what does a detector component look like? There it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's just make enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then another huge batch of steel plates, which I can never find. There we go. Oh, that's 10. I thought shift control was 1,000 for some reason. I think the azimuth detector may be broken. If you have the code cat detector, it may have better range if it's not broken too. Oh god. So the last thing I need is broken components. We'll find out. If it is broken, I'll just stick another, like, generic one on there. Okay. I've lost the ability to control the game. Keen has messed with ore detectors. Well, I'm moving the mouse, and I'm pressing buttons, and I'm pressing escape, and nothing's happening. Is it back now? It's back now. Right, save again quickly. That was not fun. What was happening was, I was trying... I think the frame rate's going down considerably because of the drills underneath me and what they're doing. Yep, control is 10, shift is 10, control shift is 1,000. Right, but control shift is not working in assembler. Okay. I still need loads of steel plates. Oh my god, the frame rate. It has to be that. It has to be that. Either it's that or it's the ore detector. Either way, the frame rate is just tanked. What the hell is happening here? Stone crusher, centrifusion, the nanite. What does the nanite factory do? Because I've seen it, but I've seen it's typical with Steam. That's the point. It might be the ore detector. Let's grind the ore detector down and see if it fixes it. I've seen on Steam, you have someone that creates something that's really, really cool, and then other people create bootleg versions of it, or they use the name of whatever it is in their whatever it is. I really wish the Steam Workshop had someone vetting, and I know the whole point of the Steam Workshop is anyone can upload to it as long as it's not a virus, but some people's creations, I was looking on there earlier and I typed in nanite because I knew nanite factory was something, I just didn't know what, and oh my god, the number of really, really, really cruddy results that I had, it was just not worth it. What a waste of time. So the actual nanite factory, what is it, what does it do, and how good is it? No, I don't want to grind down the thruster, I want to grind down this. It doesn't appear to be the ore detector. Nanite factory sends out little nanites that can weld blocks or place them from a blueprint. Okay, so for example, if I put a nanite factory in this base somewhere and then just stuck a block down on this ship, would it just come over and weld it up for me? Or do I still have to weld that? Is it only projections that it welds? What is wrong with the frame rate? Everything's 5 minutes behind now. It's a super projector. Yeah, I need to know who the authors are. That's the other thing. I need to start talking to authors. Okay. That might be worth doing then. I might have the nanite factory, or if I don't, I'll certainly be getting it. It was not the ore detector. Unless by using it I created this frame rate problem and now it won't go away. I have a feeling it's the drills. I'll also pick up components that are laying on the ground. That's cool. That's very cool. That's something that I definitely need then. Can you give me the name of the author of the good nanite factory? So I don't have to troll through the crap of the old on the other stuff. That'd be very helpful. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, this game is just completely kaput. Right, hang on. I'm going to reload the game. In fact, is that going to fix it? By the time you can afford to build it, you hardly... Oh, is it expensive? I don't know. Unless it's drilling into something that is causing lag. Is my jetpack on? It must be. But I really don't feel comfortable in this game with this lag. Look at it. It's literally one FPS at the moment. There's no drop frames on the stream, so it's nothing to do with the stream. It's definitely the game. Look at that glitchiness over there. Whoops. Not over there. Glitchiness in the ground. It has to be the drills. Has to be the drills. Oh, this is ridiculous. Right, I'm going to reboot the game, I think. First of all, I'm going to fly into the ground, because I know that's what's going to happen next. What's the range of the nanite factory? Can you set it, or is it limited to, like, I don't know, a kilometre? It has to be the drills. Either that or it's me. Because actually the particle effects aren't lagging. It's just me. I'm lagging. You're right though, what a question. How can 4 drills cause this lag? It cannot be this. Either that or it's because I placed the ore detector, which is indeed broken, and now the whole game's going to act broken until I load out and load in again. Don't think so. I don't think I'm running any script mods. I just want to get on the ground where it's safe. And then I can quit the game and reload it. Let's turn the jetpack off and just see if I fall. If I die, then I die. Simple as. You have stacked pistons, not good. Can that cause it? Can stacked pistons cause it? Can reach anything that is on the same ship or station, and if it's not, you can build a small beacon on another ship, and then it'll be able to reach that when it's close. What about the ground? Like, if I drop something down here, would it be able to pick it up? Or does it only work on the station? Come on, I switched my jetpack off ages ago and it's just not working. You have several grids trying to stay aligned with stacked pistons. Alright, so the pistons are partly at fault, if not entirely. So I will try, because I think I can do it without having to go to a cockpit. It shouldn't be lagging like this. It really shouldn't. This is really bad. No way that it would normally lag like this. It'll work outside for the picked up things. Okay. Haven't planets been out for like a year now though? It's a problem with this modern way of releasing games. They're always releasing new features. They very rarely go back and fix the old ones. Look, I switched my jetpack off. I pressed X about 5 minutes ago and it's still switched on. Why won't it switch off? What the hell is happening? Oh, I cannot believe it. That flashing in front of me cannot be a coincidence either. Can you see that on the stream? I don't think you can. Right, jetpack off. Thank you. Now how far am I going to fall and am I going to die? What a joke. I cannot even line this up properly. Right, K. I'm going to reverse the pistons. Let me find out. Let me get the K menu up first. Or T, whichever works. I need to open the task manager to find that out. See, if I was a game developer, I would do it as introduce a new feature, and then in the next patch, introduce another new feature and fix the old feature. Because there's no way that it will just work first time, is it? You know, life doesn't work that way. So I think they've gone about this the wrong way. I cannot believe that adding one piston on top of another will break it. Well, you say it's not that easy, but I think it is. Why release new features if your old ones are broken? They're only making the problem for themselves. And you know, in this day and age, people don't stay interested for long if it's not working. I've lost interest in games myself because they haven't worked properly, and that's the minimum you expect when you get a game, even if it's in early access. You expect what they've released to work. But they don't work. We're finding out now that they don't work. If you can't stack one piston on top of another without it creating this awful game with lagging frame rate, then the game doesn't work. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Introduce a new feature, and then introduce another new feature, and during the testing of that second new feature, you will probably find that the first new feature is broken. So you then release a fix so that it works. And you do all that in the same patch. That's how it used to work. Look, I can't click anything now. This is completely broken. This isn't fun. Well, what you're telling me there is the pistons and rotors haven't been operational since they were first created, and yet no one's gone back and fixed them. Well, what is it then? Something went wrong. Game was running fine until I put that ore detector on. So it could be the ore detector, or it could be that the pistons finally extended so that the drills were drilling into a new bit of rock. I hear what you guys are saying, and I know what you, well, I normally agree with what you guys are saying, but if it's going to take too much time to fix it, then they still shouldn't be releasing a broken game. Yes, it's in beta, but there's other games I've bought in beta that work absolutely fine. And this game has been in alpha and beta for 4 years now. A game doesn't take that long to make. But right now I'm just stuck on this screen. I can't get out of this screen. So I'm going to open Task Manager. I've got a lot of mods, but even that shouldn't break the game. It's using around 50% of my CPU. That doesn't sound right to me. It shouldn't be using that much. Well, the cursor's working again. How did you fix it? Star Driver, how did you fix it? I'm normally very patient with games, and I tend to give early access games the benefit of the doubt, but there is a cut-off point. There is a point where you think, really now it should be working. I don't think I've ever had a game use more than 50% of my CPU before. So that's new for me. It also doesn't make for a very entertaining stream when I've got 1 FPS and can't do anything apart from sit here and wait it out. When you say megabit of RAM, do you mean gigabyte of RAM? Oh, I know SE's not like other games. Oh, I know that. I've known that since I first got it. You guys don't seem to be seeing the screen flickering I'm seeing either. OBS doesn't seem to show it. Oh, hang on. No, yeah, it shows there. I got this game very, very early on. I think I watched a video of someone playing it when it was kind of first released and announced, whichever order that came in, and I must have bought it on the same day. So I've had this game for, must be 4 years now, and I've experienced some crap with it in the past, but never this. This is awful. And if I was just playing this on my own, I probably would wait this out. But I'm live streaming. This can't be interesting for people watching. I'm trying to attract an audience here. And watching a slideshow of space engineers is not entertainment. Nope. I'm going to restart. So I'm going to Alt-Tab out, because the game's just saved. So I'm going to do that. No, I'm going to Alt-Tab out again. That's the other thing the game does, which I find annoying. Right, I'm going to pop that there. Close the window. I've never written code for games like this before. Actually, whilst I've got it off, I'm going to completely get rid of Steam. Sort of reboot from the ground up. I've got loads of mods. They've never been a problem before. I can't believe adding planets would suddenly make everything really, really slow. I think pretty much every mod that I've got has been vetted as well. They're all well-used mods, very popular mods. I always read through a mod comments before I download it or subscribe to it. Had a conversation with someone who runs Cray Valley. That's interesting. You're not chairman of the board now, are you? 7 Days to Die. That's another game I want to get back into streaming. Right. Games, Space Engineers, Workshop. Yeah, but normally the mod just doesn't work. I don't get why you're so vigorously defending a game like this. I'm not literally attacking it. I'm not saying it's a rubbish game. I think it's a fantastic game. I just think it's incredibly annoying that one little thing like that can create a whole problem. Huge frame rate issues. That shouldn't happen. Whatever's causing it, it shouldn't happen. And the whole thing about pistons, I know loads of people that stopped playing the game because pistons and rotors were broken and they just weren't fixing it. They were constantly releasing things like, oh, we're going to make planets soon and we're going to improve the physics of the game and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Oh, we've brought in the new DirectX. Doesn't the game look pretty? And I don't care about what it looks like if I can't use a part of the game. There's a bit of the game there that just does not work. Well, hang on. I've never flown a plane before, but I know when I've been on a bad flight. All I'm saying is, Keen Software should be focusing on fixing things that are broken and are known to be broken, rather than constantly releasing new features. Thank you for the follow, ProSkill. Who did you say the Nanite factory was by? I can't seem to find it. I can't remember which one I picked. Azimuth is one that I tend to trust. Rexar. Can't see Nanite Factory on this list. Hey, Solar. My proof is that the rotors and pistons were broken 2 years ago. 2 years later, they're still broken. That's the proof that I've got. And again, I'm not criticising them because I still think this is a really good game. I just think it's irritating. Well, they should make sure it doesn't break. Hang on. Okay. I'll admit, I'm not a developer. I have written code before, but not for games. But I have coded software before. So I do know how fault finding works, and I do know how coding works and scripting works. And I think a big difference between what I would do and a software developer is, because I have an engineering background, so I'm used to fixing things that are broken. Admittedly, I'm used to fixing things that are visually broken. Like, you can see that there's something wrong, like a strut's not in the right place, or it's buckling in the center, that kind of thing. So yeah, software, it's harder to find the problem. I get that. And I know that going through thousands of lines of code is not fun. All I was saying was, I find it hard to believe that Keen have spent so long developing things like planets and doing was it DX11, the newest one? They did a big update for DX11, which I don't think people asked for, but they did it, and the game looks really nice now. I admit that. It looks great. It's a really good looking game, but I'm annoyed that something that's been broken for as long as pistons and rotors are haven't been fixed. That's all I'm saying. That would be where my priorities would lie. Yeah, but the game could have survived without DX9. With DX9. Could have survived without DX11. But I guess because I want to use pistons and I want to use rotors, so I'm annoyed that pistons and rotors aren't working. Some people get lucky, they can do, as you said, put 20 pistons together and it will work fine. But even on our old game, we had problems with pistons, and we had problems with rotors, to the point that we couldn't use rotors anymore. We wanted to use rotors to open doors, but in the end we had to get the hanger doors instead. Now, I've watched other people's channels where they say about rotors are broken. I cannot find the nanite factory that you're talking about. There's nanite control factory. Is that the one? 1.153. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? Ah, Nanite Control Factory Original. That's the one I'm looking for. Nanite Control Factory by... Who's it by? Created by NukeGuard and... Tysis? Does that say? I can't. I'll have to set up a new capture. I'm gonna load the game up again in a second anyway, so bear with me. Alright, hang on. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Monitor capture. There you go. That's what I'm seeing.